Hansel and Gretel. Once upon a time, in a small, humble cottage on the edge of a deep green forest, lived a poor woodcutter, his wife, and his 2 children, Hansel and Gretel. There was very little food in the house, and hunger sat on their table every night. One night, the children heard the stepmother whispering to their father. "We must take them into the forest and leave them," she insisted, her voice sharp as dry leaves. Clever Hansel, who was awake in bed, listened closely. Before the sun rose, Hansel crept outside and filled his pockets with small, white, shining pebbles. As they walked deep into the woods the next morning, he secretly dropped one pebble after another on the dark earth. They were left alone, but the children waited until the moon shone and followed the shining stones home. When they were sent again, they were not so lucky. Hansel had no pebbles left, so he dropped breadcrumbs instead. The breadcrumbs were all eaten by the hungry birds. Hansel and Gretel wandered for hours, lost and afraid, until they spotted something magical through the trees, a tiny house shining brightly. It was a house made of sweets, walls of gingerbread, windows of sugar, and a roof of chocolate. Hungry and amazed, they nibbled on the tasty walls until a creaking voice called out, "Who is nibbling at my house?" The old woman invited them inside, but she was really a wicked witch who loved children as her dinner. She locked Hansel in a tiny iron cage and forced poor Gretel to be her servant. Every day, the witch poked Hansel's finger to check if he was fat enough to eat, but Hansel cleverly held out a small bone instead. One morning, the impatient witch commanded Gretel to check the roaring oven to see if it was hot enough for baking. "I don't know how," Gretel cried. Frustrated, the witch bent down to show her how to look inside. With a great, sudden push, clever Gretel shoved the wicked witch right into the fire and slammed the oven door shut. Hansel was free. They searched the witch's house and found chests overflowing with jewels and gold coins. Taking the treasure, they quickly found their way back to their home in the woods. Their father, the woodcutter, had mourned their loss every moment and cried for their return. The wicked stepmother had disappeared from the cottage. The children ran into their father's arms, never to be separated again. Now rich and happy, with the love of their father and no fear of hunger or wicked plots, Hansel and Gretel lived happily ever after in their little cottage by the deep green forest.